The modern day smartphone is by far the biggest drain on cognitive performance and productivity imaginable in the 21st century. And it's not because phones are inherently bad, but I will tell you something. It is because people like us, evil versions of people like myself and Lucas, these are cognitive neuroscientists and behavioral neuroscientists, really made the phone and most of our digital devices as addictive as they are today. So we've designed them intentionally to increase engagement, keep your eyes on the screen for as long as humanly possible and for as many times as humanly possible throughout the course of the day, because that's the business model, okay? Now, the number one recommendation I would have is to reevaluate your relationship with your notifications. This is the biggest unlock when it comes to retraining the neural networks involved in the brain as it relates to all of our digital devices, and to really start to take back control from the devices in the first place. Now, when I say reevaluate your relationship with your notifications, what I really mean to say is turn them off. Now, my recommendation is to turn them all off across all applications, and then take a deep breath, okay? Don't hate me yet, but take a deep breath and then ask yourself, which notifications are important and urgent enough to merit interrupting my precious train of thought? Which notifications are important enough to actually interrupt what's going on in my real life? Now, that might be your kid's school calling. That might be your boss's boss, a really important client or a customer. But besides that, not much.
It's not the news, it's not social media, it's not the weather. You can check those when you want to check them, but they're, again, not important or urgent enough to interrupt us, for example, when we're filming these videos. Make sure you take back control, and if something's a notification, that means it should be interrupting your train of thought in that moment. That's really important.
So again, number one recommendation, turn off the notifications and start to take back some control. Next piece of advice is actually to go into grayscale mode. And the reason why is because we want to make the phone in and of itself less neurologically stimulating. When you take all of the color away from the screen and also decrease the light stimulation, you're actually making the phone measurably less neurologically stimulating in the brain. So it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to spend less time on the phone and not do that thing where you check your phone and you enter an app, and then when you're done checking the messages in that app, you exit and you're like, ooh, and then you check a different app and you're like, oh, it looks like I have a notification there, and then you've now 20 minutes has passed and you've been into 5 different applications and it's like, oops, there goes my break time.
And you've cycled through and you've checked the same app multiple times.
Exactly. So do yourself a favor and go into grayscale mode. I know you're not gonna like us, we're gonna be the bad guys here, but that is okay, because we're hoping we're the good guys trying to get you to do things that may not be super fun, but they will be good for you in the long run. But it will look immediately less stimulating to you and less fun, but it will be a lot easier to spend less time on your phone.
And because we don't want to steal all the joy out of your life, I want to show you a demo as it relates to how I personally use my phone. So I'll show you right here. I keep my phone in gray about 90% of the time. I find that it makes me reach for it less, I use it less, but sometimes I want to take a video, look at a photo, just have my normal phone back. So what I've enabled is a shortcut here on the top right. I click this 3 times, boom, 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 goes to color. Get my normal phone back. When I'm done, click it again 3 times, boom, 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 back to gray. So if you find that you're spending too much time on your phone, you want to reduce your screen time, you feel like evil versions of us may have accidentally made it too addictive, move it to gray and enable this toggle so that you're more likely to keep it in gray and get the most benefit.
Absolutely. So now you might be telling yourself, okay, Sahar, I've turned off my notifications. I'm in grayscale. I have the toggle all set up. Am I in the clear? Fortunately, the answer is no. This particular study came out in 2017 from University of Austin, Texas, and they took a large sample of healthy, high-performing adults, and they had them take a battery of cognitive assessments. These were tests of attention, tests of memory, and the most frightening, a test of general fluid intelligence. And Lucas, if it's all right, I'm going to use you as an example. You're going to be a pretend participant in the study.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Now, before Lucas can participate in this battery of cognitive assessments, we're going to test how smart Lucas is, okay? We're going to first ask, Lucas, do you have a cell phone?
It is 2017 in Texas. Yes, I do. It's right
Wonderful.
here. There you go.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask you as the participant, because we want to make sure that your results are as high as possible. So I want to make sure that nothing interrupts you and nothing distracts you during the course of these assessments. So I'm going to ask that you power your phone completely down. actually turn it off. It's a dead phone.
I don't even know if I've done that in years. Okay.
All right, phenomenal. So he has his phone completely powered down. There are 3 different conditions. Condition 1, I am going to keep your phone in the waiting room, and I'm going to put Lucas in the actual testing room, and we're looking at results here for working memory capacity and fluid intelligence. Are you happy with your results?
I am not unhappy. Looks decent.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Now, the next set of studies here, we're looking at when I'm allowing your phone to be in the room with you, but I'm asking you to put it in either a pocket or a bag.
Okay, it's going in my pocket.
Phenomenal. So now Lucas is taking the assessments again. This time his phone is much closer to him, but of course, again, it's a completely off phone. It's still dead. No notifications coming in, no lights, no vibrations. There's nothing happening at all. And we see significant decreases here. Then, if you can take your phone out now, place it on the table in the room with you, face down, off to the side. You're sitting here in front of the computer, taking the digitized assessments. We see even more significant decreases in both working memory capacity and general fluid intelligence. So you are measurably much dumber now that your phone is in the room with you compared to when your phone was in the waiting room with me. It's a quote from the actual researchers. The mere presence of a smartphone reduces brain power, even if it's turned over and even if it's off.
And even if it's not yours. This is really scary stuff. Now, the point of this study is not to get rid of your phone, put it away all the time, but we do want you to be aware of the trade-offs. When your phone is visible especially, it's constantly draining your background cognitive capacity. Why would this be the case? Well, our phones aren't just phones. They are portals into a massively entertaining world outside of ourselves. They represent our future. We have our calendar, our to-do list on these devices. They also represent our past. We have photos and videos of our family. There are so many emotions and associations that we've built into these devices such that even if they're off, if they're close by, if we can see them, they're silently draining our cognitive capacity in the background. So if you want to be fully present for a critical task, a conversation with your loved one, you want to be at 100%. Just know that if this device is out, you're not there. So put it away strategically when you want to be 100% present and at your highest capacity.